Boys, welcome back yet again. We're here for the fifth installment of Football and Freight. How's it feel to be in our fifth week here? How's it feel, guys?
Yeah, it feels great. I'm kind of amazed that you have the same record as me. I did not see that coming. Kind of surprised at those numbers.
Yeah. Well, I had to have a little bit of a comeback this past week. I had to get on the wagon. Jared's still back a little bit, but we're all right there, right?
Hey, we both went 9-3. It's good to be even close again. After the week I had last week, I didn't think I was going to be back for a minute, so we can pull back ahead with this week's picks easily.
Well, let's talk about the weekend. So I got lucky a little bit. Went undefeated on Sunday. Didn't have a great college day, but went undefeated on Sunday. Hit two parlays. Hit an AM parlay, a PM parlay, both 3 games. Hit the Bucks, hit the Saints, and hit the Packers. Had an undefeated, and then I got beat on Monday night because I got a little fancy, got a little braggy, and tried to back Ryan and the Titans, and it just backfired. But then the Eagles saved me, so I was kind of break even. But we got a brand new week. We got a lot of football to talk about. But the first thing we need to do is we need to figure out what we're going to do in this coin toss. So we probably should have done that before we went live, but here we are, we're live. So let's go 2 subjects, one college, one professional. Heads college, tails professional. What's the hot topics right now?
What did we do last week? We do Rookie of the Year last week.
We did Rookie of the Year and MVP, I believe.
Yeah, now we're doing MVP of the league, or I guess it could be, who in the hell is going to hire for Auburn's head coaching position after it's vacated this year?
Yeah, that has been talked about. So we'll go. Who is the hottest coach in the free agency, or like who's the next up and coming big time coach, and then we'll do who's the NFL MVP. That can work. So we'll do heads and tails. Heads for college, tails for NFL. So let's flip over here real quick. Call it in the air. Well, I guess call it on the screen. Either way. Where's it at here? I'll find it. Don't worry. I'll find it. There it is. Here we go. The majority of the time, it ends up being tails. So it looks like we're going to be talking about the NFL. Let's try it again, though. Oh, man. It's always tails.
Tails never fails.
Tails never fails. All right. So we're going NFL MVP from so far at this point. What are we thinking? You guys go first, and I'll come in.
From what I've seen, I think it's clearly got to be Josh Allen. I mean, dude's absolutely lighting it up. Has Stephon Diggs, has Gabe Davis once he comes back, Dawson Knox, defense to hold it, defense to keep teams to like 7 points while they go off for 41 points. Dude's just playing Madden out here. I got to absolutely go. I know who Ryan's going to go with, but I got to go with Josh Allen out here.
There you go. I guess that's part of it. If we had done this week 0 of the NFL, we would have had different discussions. But even with that injury, I'm taking Herbert. I think Justin Herbert has a key defense behind him. He's got great attributes on offense. If Keenan Allen can stay healthy this year, I think it's just a gangbuster for him. So going Justin Herbie.
Okay, I'm gonna do an oddball here. I'm gonna do one that's probably like, if I had to guess, I'd say this is probably plus 1,000 or more, maybe a little bit less. And I'm bandwagon right now. Listen, I'm following the highlights. I'm following the bandwagon. Jalen Hurts for MVP. He's got a solid mix of. He's probably gonna have some 50-yard rushing games. He's probably gonna have a bunch of 300-yard passing games. Mm-hmm. And if he can win, that's going to put you right there at the end as long as he's able to get some touchdowns in MVP contention. I mean, it's very possible that he could win. Here's the way I look at it. What is there, 53 players per team, 32 teams? Yeah. That's how many people could potentially win MVP. I definitely think Jalen Hurts is one of those guys.
One with Jalen Hurts, you get those goal line touchdowns too, where he just sneaks it in. So get 5 or 6 of those and then throw the normal touchdown.
Tua, don't shake a stick at Tua now. I mean, name another person that might have 6 touchdown passes this year in one game.
It'll be really interesting to see what happens with the Dolphins-Bills game this week. Tua and the Dolphins always struggle with the Bills. I'm in that division, so I know a lot about that division. I think they're 4 or 6-0 in the last 6 games with them. So Tua normally struggles. I think he's 1 touchdown to 4 picks in the last couple games with them. So I think this will be the year that they put up or shut up and prove that they're the real deal or not.
And that's a way better Donnybrook than pulling out Tom Brady with just the reasoning of Tom Brady. So good.
So we
good
could actually use the freight part of this right now. So we just went through a power hour, which at our offices, the guys get in a boiler room, just make a bunch of calls. But we had 34 of the most crazy words in the English vocabulary, and they were marking them off as I was going through. And one of the words Ryan just said again, and it was quite hilarious making calls. If you get bored making sales calls, I definitely advise that you put some fun words in there. That makes it a little bit more fun. Yeah. Which one of you guys want to do your game first?
So I guess I'll go first. It's a pretty cut and dry situation for me after this past Monday. I'm depressed. Titans definitely look like the low caliber team everybody expects them to be. So far, I'm still okay with Ryan Tannehill. I think that Tannehill has got the team behind him. I think everything can work well. It's not like a Mitchell Trubisky, Kenny Pickett situation right now. I think Ryan Tannehill has a good grasp of the playbook and a good hold on his team. Malik Willis, for me right now, is still building, still one-read quarterback, looking like Baker Mayfield in his first year, but we shouldn't put him in the fire yet. So on this game, I think Derek Carr having that Devontae Adams situation, having Josh Jacobs, having just all the defensive pieces, offensive minds that they do, like their head coach, McDaniels. I think it's going to be a tough game for the Titans. I think if we can't get rolling, and I know it's just a pretty easy situation to say, if you can't get Derrick Henry rolling, then we're probably going to have a tough outing. So they really just got to get back to the basics, those 1 and 2 plays, bring it to 3rd and short, 3rd and manageable, be able to convert those. Just like any other football game, you want to get more first downs and more touchdowns. So, hopefully our defense can come back out and not have that outing be just a remembrance and not capitalize on situations like interceptions and forced fumbles. So that's that game. Very, very stressful. Not even a large point spread. I think it's right now at 2.5. So not even a field goal point spread. So, it's coming up. It'll be a game I'll be sitting at and hopefully not be super sad when I leave.
The battle of the beatens, not the unbeatens, but the beatens.
0-2. Everybody's got something to prove.
Yeah, 0-3. 0-3 is a rough start.
Yeah.
No one wants that.
All right, what you got, Jared?
All right, man. I obviously got the Jets Bengals. So if you'd have talked about this last year, you're talking about the team that was in the Super Bowl and the team that had the number 4 overall pick in the draft. I think the Jets have actually kind of maybe surprised some people, especially after that comeback win. I mean, one of the most spectacular wins I've seen by the Jets, and I don't know how long. You're talking about a minute 30 left, down 13, hit an 80-yard touchdown, onside kick, and then you drive down the field and score with maybe 20 seconds left to the rookie of the week, Garrett Wilson, I might add. So, yeah, I think Gunner's pick, one of Gunner's picks, yeah. So I got Jets Bengals. I think it's +6 right now. I think Joe Flacco is in 3rd in the NFL in passing with 615 yards or so.
Behind Tua and Carson Wentz.
That's who it was. Yeah, as we all suspected. As if you'd have done this and filled this out at the beginning, whoever had that on, as Gunner would say, their bingo card, man, you would have a lot of money. I can't imagine the odds on that. But I got to go with the Jets here. I got them +6. I wish it was +7, +7.5. But with the offensive firepower, with Joe Flacco throwing for 300 yards a game, Garrett Wilson coming to his own, still got Elijah Moore. Joe Burrow's offensive line clearly hasn't been able to hold up. We got Carl Lawson, Jermaine Johnson. We got some pass rushers who can get there. We got some corners who can shut down. Love to see Sauce just follow Jamar Chase and just really see what Sauce has to offer out here. So obviously I'm going to go with the Jets +6. I like it. Wish it was +7, but it is what it is.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I was a huge Jets fan last week.
You were. We came through for you.
I'm not sure if I'm as much a Jets fan this week. But you know what? Hey, listen, I'm sure I'll be their fan again.
It's another.
But here we go. Jumping over, we're going to talk about the Fighting Illini. Just kidding. We're talking about the Chattanooga Mocs. We're talking about the blue and gold. We're talking about prime time football, baby. We're talking about Thursday night. We're talking about 8:30. We're talking about a national television broadcast. This is where the Mocs go on the map. It doesn't happen often, but when we do show up, we do show up and we do play well. Talking about my experiences. Before I got there, we played Oklahoma. Sam Bradford was the Heisman Trophy winner. The year after that, we played Alabama. Mark Ingram, Heisman Trophy winner. Year after that, we played Cam Newton, Auburn, Heisman Trophy winner. Next year, we played Nebraska. We played them really well going into halftime and just lost depth. You look at South Florida, we played the next year, also played them really well. After I finished, they played Tennessee. They got absolutely destroyed, but then they played some few teams. The last couple of years, Western Kentucky, we won that game, and the ref screwed us. Literally, go back, watch it. Kickoff return, they said we called a fair catch. We didn't call nothing. All we called was a touchdown, and they didn't like it. So they got upset, called it back. They got beat 13-10. Then you're looking at last year, Kentucky. We're winning in the fourth quarter, and then Kentucky, Will Levis and all these guys, or whatever his name is, the quarterback, it's like, listen, we're going to make a couple plays. We're going to just get rid of these guys, and they end up winning by like less than 10 points. So they should have won that game. They should have beat They did beat West Kentucky, and here we are, Thursday night, primetime, Big Ten Network, Fighting Illini, going up against the number one rushing offense in the NCAA, the number one rusher in NCAA. But it's not going to be enough to beat the Fighting Mocs of Chattanooga. The boys are going to pull the upset. They're going to get the win tonight. They're definitely going to cover 20. I mean, come on, bro. And guess who thinks they're going to cover 20? I'll tell you who thinks they're going to cover 20. Everybody thinks they're going to cover 20. Plus 31 differential right here, 5,000 votes. All the public is on the Illini because they don't know about Chattanooga. They don't even know where Chattanooga is. In Oklahoma? Yeah, there's a Chattanooga, Oklahoma. But we're talking about the Mocs, all right? Yeah. So, Chattanooga all day. Take it, run with it, get all your money, cash out, do the thing. And if it's wrong, we're an FCS opponent, man. It's not a big deal. They all get beat by a bunch of points. But we're going to win tonight. And if we don't say I told you to bet on it. Anyways.
Hey, you're dangerous. You guys got nothing to lose, so.
Nothing to lose, bro. Points. They're about to make some money. They're about to go up there and play some good competition. They're going to try to get out of there healthy. And if they're still in it at halftime, they're going to try to win that daggum game. And you know what? They might do it. They might do it. But let's move on. Let's move on a little bit deeper down the road. We've got this a little bit more organized these days. So let's do this right here. Let's share our screen yet again. Boom, boom. Here we are. Let's jump in this. All right, so these are the 12 games of the week that we're looking at, right? We've already made our decisions on these. There's only a few games that we have a little bit of a disagreements on. So, obviously we're all taking the Steelers tonight. I think that's a crazy line. I think it's already, down to -3 for the Browns, something like that. Mm-hmm. I just ran my mouth about Chattanooga. That's actually bumped up to 20.5 now. But when we lock these in, we locked this in at 18.5. So Chattanooga there, Syracuse against Virginia. So the first one we have a problem with, Baylor versus Iowa State. Both you guys are thinking Baylor. I'm thinking Iowa State. What's our decision-making process there?
That's a tough team to beat.
Yeah, my decision behind it is Iowa State. The only real team they've really played so far is Iowa. And Iowa held them, I think it was 7-3 or 10-7, something like that. It was a low-scoring battle. So I think when they actually get put up against a good defense, which Baylor does have, I think they've just been showboating against the smaller teams. And when it comes to actually playing somebody, it does make me a little nervous that it's at Iowa State. But I'm going to take the 2.5 points for Baylor and see what we can do.
Yeah, and I mean, granted, just like everybody else does, Baylor went into that overtime battle with BYU, and then the next week BYU got shit stomped and reamed out by yours truly, the dadgum Oregon Ducks. So for me, I am going to take Baylor, though, with this one. I know it's like a 2.5 point spread. It might have bumped a little bit since then. But with a team like Baylor, they have a good offense. It's not just a run-heavy throw on the third down that you can't get kind of football. So I think that Iowa State's going to have a handful, and their DBs are going to have to show up for this game for them to actually win it. So that's my pick.
Yeah, I'm with you. Listen, man, last week I followed the money, right? The games that I lost were the games that I was trying to get too smart. I'm following the money. I'm following the sharp plays. I'm following the action. It's leaning to Iowa State right now. And, the way I'm looking at it, the teams that Baylor's played that are halfway decent, they can't get the job done against. So I'm just going to take Iowa State right here to play old school defense, run the ball, control the clock, and it be a very low scoring ball game. I'd say the under in this is probably a good play, to be honest.
I agree.
I'd say if there is a bunch of points scored, it's probably going to be one-sided, be Baylor. But if it's just a low-scoring game, I favor Iowa State. So Florida, Tennessee, I think this is probably the most talked about game of the week, especially in these parts of the town. Our office is filled with Tennessee fans. I'm coming around on Tennessee. No, I'm not being a bandwagon Tennessee guy. It's just I just don't hate them as much as I did when I was at Chattanooga. That was, just more of a college thing. And I just carried that hate after I graduated. So I hope they do well, right? One reason because I just don't want to hear them do bad because then everybody in the office complains. So I hope they do well. Hope they have a good season. If they ever play Chattanooga, I hope they lose. But we've all taken the Florida Gators. So why are we taking the Florida Gators? Is it because there's a bunch of points there and it seems like that's always a close game and most of the time Florida wins? I'll give my analysis real quick. I think Florida might be the dog of the week. Not just the points, but they might be the dog. They are my dog of the week. We'll go ahead and spill the beans. They are my dog of the week. Richardson's not as bad as people give him credit for, or like they're saying that he is. Tennessee hasn't played really anybody. They've played Pitt.
That's nobody.
Florida's played Utah, really good ball club. Played Kentucky, really good ball club. Played South Florida. South Florida might play with Pitt. I don't know what the point spread is. That a 10-point spread? South Florida Pitt? Maybe it could be closer. I don't know. So yeah, I'm thinking Florida not only takes the points, I think they win the game outright.
Oh, wow.
What do you guys think?
Let's go. You took money line too, didn't you?
I haven't taken it yet.
Okay. Everybody's been talking about it.
All my money's out right now, so I'm waiting to see how the games unfold tonight, and then I'll make my bets for tomorrow and then Saturday.
Okay. Go ahead, Ryan.
Yeah, I might have to start a new bracket with, monetary wins and losses. With the 29-19, all that 27-19, the records. We should maybe start putting out a few extra little tweaks for extra, fandom. Right now, Florida, for me, I put $50 down on them to beat Tennessee outright when the line was still at plus 360. Looking pretty good on that. I think they for sure cover that 10.5-point spread. Tennessee, born and raised here. The Vols, I love them. They're a good team. Even when they're bad, they're trying their best. But there's something about Florida. Every year I've ever watched football, I think in my lifetime they've beat them 5 times in the past 30 years. So we're looking at a tough uphill battle just because of the stigma that the Florida Gators bring to Tennessee. So that's pretty much the reason why I picked it. Is it will be a tough game.
Well, like Ryan says, Florida has Tennessee's number. Like you said, I don't know how many times they've beaten them over the last 20 years, but it's not much. I think this game goes one of two ways. I'm picking Florida to cover the 10.5 solely because it's at 10.5. If it was probably anything under 10, I probably wouldn't take it. But I think this game goes one of two ways. I think either Tennessee blows them out of the water, or Florida hangs around, maybe loses by 3, maybe loses by a touchdown. But I agree with Gunner. I don't think this quarterback's as bad as everybody's talking about. I mean, if you saw that 360 spin move that he pulled out 2 or 3 weeks ago, that was unreal. I know he hasn't thrown for a passing touchdown, which kind of blows my mind right now. But I think their defense will keep Tennessee to a low-scoring game, lower than they've been putting out, 42, 49 points. But one of two ways. Tennessee blows them out or Florida barely covers. Going with Florida just because of the 10.5.
Yeah, I'd say he's due for a passing touchdown.
Yeah.
And probably due for more than one. So go ahead and think about that. All right, so Vanderbilt, Alabama. It looks like we're all favoring Alabama mainly because, Alabama has the most 5-star talent of any school in the nation, and Vandy does not. So I would think that's probably a good reason to do that. Is 40 points a lot to cover? Yes, but it seems like Alabama does it every week. The following day, getting into Sunday, Jets versus Bengals -5.5, leaning towards the Bengals. I've got the Bengals. Ryan's got the Bengals. Jared's leaning the Jets because, well, he just has to. But I mean, this might be a good game. But I got a feeling, as a former Jets fan from a week ago, I've got a feeling that Joey Burrow has his coming out party during this game, and maybe maybe old hot sauce there gets his welcoming to the NFL.
Don't do it to
I
him.
mean, you got to think about Jamar Chase. Got to think about these things. Joey B throwing. It's gonna be the first game that he's played where he gets to go up against some stiff competition. Yeah. So I'm intrigued to see that matchup right there, and I'm leaning Bengals.
Yeah, I'm putting Cincy on the map with this one. Joey B, he's a great quarterback. I think he's in his third year lull, just like many NFL quarterbacks before him have been in on that third year. I do think the talent on that roster is still great. I also think that with the money they spent on their offensive line, they better start getting some production out of him, because he is the second most sacked quarterback this year with, I think, 13 sacks given in 2 weeks. But I do think the Bengals are the better team in this one. I think that Prove Me game last week that the Jets pulled out of the hat like it was a horse, not a bunny, was amazing. But I think that the Bengals are going to cover this, win by about a touchdown, if not 2 field goals, and they're going to take this one down.
I already gave y'all my rundown, so I won't bore you with it. But the one thing that does scare me about this game is, like Gunner said, them just coming out absolutely pissed off after an 0-2 start. That's literally the only thing that scares me. I think we can get to Joe Burrow. I think we can cover the receivers. I think if anybody breaks loose, it's going to be Jamar Chase, but I'm taking the Jets. I got to take the Jets.
Hey, man, I'm loyal with you. I hear you. All right, so Titans, Raiders. I mean, we've heard Ryan break this down as well. Me and Jared are on the other side of things. We're team Raiders. So, I mean, I'm just looking at. I think this is a battle of the beatens. I think that the Raiders just have the edge with Derek Carr, Devontae Adams. I see that's the biggest mismatch, considering what I saw Josh Allen do to the defensive secondary of the Titans this past week. And if Derrick Henry can't get anything moving, they don't have an offense. Yes, they have an offense when they can run play action, but they don't have an offense if they can't run the ball to take advantage of play action. So I'm going Raiders until I'm proven otherwise.
That's the one thing that scares me about the Titans is when they get down, they're probably the last team in the league that you want to get down and try and come from behind, because like you said, there's just solely predicted on run game and play action. And boy, once you're down 10, it's hard to sell on that play action. It's hard to get me to bite. So I got to go Raiders, even though Titans are probably pretty pissed off. 0-2 start, but at Raiders, at Vegas, not the greatest atmosphere in the world, but I think Titans get off to a rough start and start 0-3, and I hate it for Ryan.
It is definitely going to be one of those Sundays I'm sitting in my seat and watching this game intently and intensively, wishing that I could walk on the field with a clipboard and just throw it at somebody. So we'll
don't throw it at Mike Vrabel, because he is a bad man. I would probably not throw it his way.
No, I'd probably throw it at like Todd Downing. He kind of looks like a sissy. So
pull a Tom Brady.
I got a buddy on the tablet. My buddy Corey Levin plays on the team. He's an offensive lineman, backup offensive lineman. Throw it at him. He's a big teddy bear. He'd be cool with it. Love you, Corey.
There you go.
So here's a good game. Jaguars and the Chargers. So you guys have went Chargers. I'm leaning Jaguars. Listen, now I've been tooting my horn all week about I think Justin Herbert wouldn't play and that he'd be hurt and that maybe he's just tougher than me because I've had the same injury. But they said that he's got a fractured rib cartilage. So if you don't know what that means, I can explain it to you in pro wrestling terms. I do a move where it's called jackhammer, where it's pretty much a stalling suplex where I have people held up. Well, I did that early on, and I didn't stretch at all. I was literally just doing a run-in where I was doing a spear and then doing that. Well, the guy jumped off the turnbuckle, and I caught him in the move. And when I did that, I fractured the cartilage in my rib, and my rib popped through, right? So it's just like the cartilage that allows your rib cage to stay intact. And if you don't have this intact, it just kind of pops in and out of place. So you saw that one play where it was like third down, he ran, and it looked like he locked up, and he just kind of got rid of the ball. He threw it right down in front of him, and a lot of the NFL analysts was like, "That I would have got him out of the game right then." But then his next play was a touchdown, and then he drove down and threw some BBs after that. But you also saw him kind of in a little bit of pain. That's what happened. Like, it probably just popped out of place, got uncomfortable. He got rid of the ball thinking he just broke his ribs. But then he did this, and it popped back in place, and now he can throw the ball down the field again. So I don't think it's smart to play him in this game. What's it really matter? You're in the third week of the season. But if they're going to play him, I mean, that's their franchise quarterback. So maybe he's not as hurt as what we all think that he is. Maybe there's some concoction you can put together to limit the pain a little bit in the NFL. I'm sure they have that. But regardless, that Jaguars defense, stopping the number one running back in the league, getting him out of the game pretty much, putting it all on Matt Ryan. Now, if you put it all on Justin Herbert and he's healthy, that's going to be a long night. But I still see this being within 7. So I'm going to take Jaguars +7 on this, no doubt.
So, definitely looking at that point spread, you could see that happening. For me, that future NFL 2023 MVP is going to definitely shine out of the box, on Sunday. Herbie, he's a man. That's why he's there. Did his thing in college and got all the way out there. So, his arm strength and his acumen is gonna bring him the W. I think the defense for the Jags with Miles Jack and all their down linemen and everybody, they can get pressure on the quarterback. They can definitely disrupt the passing offense. But another main guy that I love to talk about over on the Chargers is Austin Eckler. He has been quiet for the first 2 weeks, but I can guarantee you he is going to have a Mike Williams week 2 type of game this week. I think that the Jags are not expecting this to come out because, one thing, if Herbert can throw the ball without pain, all he has to do is throw quick enough so he doesn't get hit. So that's going to be a whole bunch of check downs to Austin Eckler. It's a whole bunch of curl routes, crossing routes, just a whole bunch of stuff to get him the ball out of his hand quicker and quicker as the game progresses, and handing off. I mean, just because running back can catch a ball doesn't mean you can't hand it off to him. So I think the Chargers' game plan is all offense. I think their defense can shut down Trevor Lawrence. Sunshine, he's good. He's coming into his own. But for me, they don't have the weapons needed. So that's my Chargers pick.
That was a pretty good rundown right there, Ryan. I like the Chargers. Jaguars having to travel all the way across America from Florida to LA. Makes me like that 7 points every year. I don't know why, but I am absolutely stunned when the Jaguars beat the Colts. It fucks me up every year. I never know what to think about it. I never know what to take from it because then the Jaguars go back and get blown out on the next game. I'm a little worried about Herbert's injury. I don't know what's going to come of it. Hopefully they get up early and they can pull him and let Chase Daniel ride out that $40 million. But I'm going to roll with everybody. I'm going to go with the Chargers. I just think better team, better defense. That defense with Bosa, Mack, Derwin, and J.C. Jackson is just unreal. Trevor Lawrence is going to have to prove to me what he can do before I get too excited about him.
I just want to say, Gunnar, that video that you just had popped up about Brandon Stantley talking about Justin Herbert, the end of it made him look like Bobby Boucher. Did you see that? He had the little, like the funny clown mouth. But okay, yeah. So that's good. Chargers all the way.
All right. So one of the big games for Sunday is the Packers and Tampa. Probably, I'd say it's probably the most high-profile game of the week. Packers, Tampa Bay, something that you could see in the NFC Championship game.
Let's say you picked the Packers over Tom Brady?
Oh, yes, yeah, that's a bit shocking.
And here's why. Mike Evans out. All right. Mike Evans out.
Next man up.
I think the Buccaneers played really good on defense the past 2 weeks, and it's time for them to have a little bit of a slip. And the last person you want to slip against is a man named Aaron Rodgers, who's a 2-time NFL MVP. And Brady's kind of had his number as of late. So I think it's due, right? I think it's due. I think that's why you see the line at -1. So I'm taking the Packers right here. I guess I could get a draw if it goes +1, or if they was to tie, right? Maybe I get the win. But I think the Packers might even end up taking this game. I hate to vote against Tom Brady, Bill Belichick, and Nick Saban, but sometimes I do, and usually I'm wrong. But this time I will be taking the Packers and Aaron Rodgers. But if the Buccaneers win, I'm still a happy man because I'm Team GOAT. So either way.
So that's beautiful. I love how you can still stay true to Tom Brady but pick the Packers. But yeah, cool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a bet out right now. She's going to be a $50 bet, and she's going to be taking the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at -6.5.
Ooh.
Whoa.
And that's going to be sitting at a +190. So that's what you need to do, because the Packers, they don't have the discount double check anymore. State Farm's not subsidizing them, guys. Not going to happen.
Okay.
I think this
We'll
is
say,
gonna be-
hey, I would love that. That's cool with me. I would love that. That'd be great. But
Yeah.
Either way,
win-win.
Gunner wins. Either way, Gunner wins on this game.
Win-win.
Yeah.
that's right.
I think this is going to be the week where we find out what Aaron Rodgers is actually going to look like this year. Always takes off week 1. Week 2 came back and looked like Aaron Rodgers that we all know and love. I think even without Allen Lazard, I think Allen Lazard only had like 1 catch. So dude's throwing to no names, and it really doesn't matter. So I am a little nervous for the Tampa Bay defense. Todd Bowles used to be the coach of the Jets. I know he's always cooking something up, loves those blitzes, but can't go against Aaron Rodgers. We will definitely find out what the Packers are going to look like this year in this game. We will find out one way or another whether I'm right or wrong. But got to roll with the Packers. Got to roll with my GOAT, Aaron Rodgers.
Well, here we go. Broncos 49ers, Sunday night prime time. Here's a little tip. Our boy Cole Slanecki that came on my show here earlier said primetime games, hammer the under. So there's a shout out to Cole. Primetime games, hammer the under. So if you're wanting to play the under, play it right here. But also, the best thing to ever happen to the city of San Francisco was Trey Lance breaking his ankle.
Jimmy
and
G.
now the man, Mr. Slanging and Banging, Jimmy G, is back in the saddle. He wasn't even prepared to play, went out there and win. The man's making like $250 bonus on every game he wins this year. He's about to make like $2 million in straight bonuses just if they can just have a winning record. I'm pulling for him. I think he's going to do well. We're all pulling for him. I think they get the job done. Russell Wilson can't cook shit with the Broncos. No. So, I mean, unless he just proves me wrong, absolutely. I'm riding the Broncos off this entire season, and I'm riding Russell Wilson off in general, even though I wrote him off 10 years ago because I've never been a fan. So there is a deal. I think we're all going 49ers. But let's go prime time, Monday Night Football, Cowboys-Giants, America's game. We got a big Giants fan here. We got 2 leaning Cowboys. What do you see on the Cowboys there, Jared?
So the sole reason I'm picking the Cowboys is the sole reason that the Cowboys won last week. I'm taking Micah Parsons. It is all about Micah Parsons. Andrew Thomas has been one of the better, I think, top 3 offensive tackles in the league for the Giants. But solely counting on Micah Parsons to help me out right here. Hopefully Diggs gets a pick. That man's an absolute ball hawk. He's very hit or miss. Could get shot out of the water, could ball out and have a pick 6. But this is solely based. This game's a pick 'em. Anybody can win. Understand it's at the Giants, but got to roll with the Cowboys. Got to roll with fucking Cooper Rush, who cost me like $400 last week. So I got to go with the Cowboys. Got to go with my boy Parsons.
Hey, guys, looking at it, it's just like last year when Dak Prescott went down for like 3 weeks. Cooper Rush came in, first game in, he fucking went off. Second game, he looked like Cooper Rush, the backup quarterback. So I understand the defensive prowess of Micah Parsons and all of what the Cowboys and Jerry Jones world can bring with the dollar bill. But what they don't have is a quarterback. And I think Daniel Jones wins this game. I think actually the one man who's going to score a touchdown is going to be Galloway. He's complaining like a sore-bent child and Terrell Owens incarnate, saying that he doesn't get to touch the ball. He doesn't get anything he wants. So, they're going to get him active. He's probably going to get a 2-yard touchdown that's for nothing. So I'm picking this game. I'm picking the Giants. I'm taking it all the way. I'm going to pull it 24-21. They're going to win by a field goal and cover that spread, which is only like 1 point, maybe 2.5 by now. I don't even know how they break spreads of 1 point, but they do. Giants.
Well, did you know that like less than 2% of the total population is redheaded and blue-eyed?
Yeah, because we don't live in Ireland, Gunner.
Exactly, and even less of that population is cross-eyed, and this man is all the things, and even less of that population is NFL starting quarterbacks. If you can complete passes with these eyeballs in the NFL, I'm taking you every single time, Jack. Cowboys, straight money line, bro. Let's go. Let's get the party started. Cooper Rush all day, man.
Now, have we heard anything more about? I heard Cam Newton got signed by the Cowboys. Is that not a thing?
If they start Cam Newton over that cross-eyed Irish, redheaded, blue-eyed, beautiful man that can sling the ball around the field as a top 96 NFL quarterback, I'm done.
Hey, I will say there's 2 of them in the league, and one of them starting because of an injury, but the other one's Andy Dalton, and he's behind Jameis Winston. So they do know their place.
He started for him a year or 2 ago. What is it with
true.
Cowboys and Gingers?
Yeah.
Well, hey, let's break down real quick our lock of the week, our dogs of the week, and our parlay, and let's each person just give them all at the same time, and then we'll just that way we can have them as like a clip. I'll go ahead and share first, right? I'm gonna give you a couple parlays. So if you wanted to play a parlay as a degenerate gambler on a Thursday, I got one for you. Virginia Tech plus 2.5, Georgia State plus 2.5, Chattanooga plus 20, Steelers money line. If you hit that, I believe that's plus 2,000 tonight. That'd be fun. But my play for the weekend is going to be on Sunday: Jaguars plus 7, Falcons plus 1, Texans plus 2.5, Bengals minus 6. That's plus 13-15. Those are all very sharp and big money plays, if you know what I'm talking about. If not, you need to learn gambling. And I think that's a really good bet, good parlay for Sunday if you're talking statistics, right? My dog of the week is Florida, straight up, money line. I think that's a really good play. And your boy's lock of the week, Chattanooga with the points tonight. Let's go. Undeniable. Can't be beat. It's going to happen. Go Mocs.
There you go. What you got, Jared?
All right, so I'll go in the reverse. I got my lock of the week is the Chiefs minus 5.5. Everyone in this office, for some reason, is trying to talk me out of it. I'm trying to talk Ryan into placing $500 on it because I'm just that sold on it. Colts have proved absolutely nothing to me. I had the first pick in our fantasy league this year and did not take Jonathan Taylor because Matt Ryan can't throw. He only has Michael Pittman to throw to. Every single team is just going to load the box, go 4-6 bear on those bad boys. There's no way their offense can keep up with the Chiefs. 5.5. I would take this at 9.5. I may even juice it up a little bit myself and just take it at 9.5 because that sounds great as I'm saying it. My dog of the week, got to go with the Jets. Plus 6, plus 210 on the money line. Probably take both of those. Just not sold on the Bengals O line. I think we can get to them. My literal only worry is Jamar Chase, and we got a Sauce Gardner for that. So I'm really gonna get to find out what Sauce is all about this week. Really hope he doesn't give up his first touchdown. Didn't give up a touchdown in college. Hoping he doesn't give up one yet. And my parlay
he didn't face LSU either, bro.
Do what?
He didn't face LSU and Jamar Chase either, bro.
Hey, he played in the playoffs. Who did he play? Alabama.
They played him? It wasn't Jamar Chase.
Cincinnati played Alabama. All right.
We're
getting there.
Yeah, come on,
it's a
bro.
slow build, all right? It's a slow build. We got to work our way up. We're figuring this thing out.
They didn't give a touchdown on Alabama, so.
Do what?
Yeah.
He didn't give a touchdown up to Alabama.
Jamison Williams, none of them. I'll take it. Basically a junior version of Jamar Chase. So Chiefs minus 5.5, Rams minus 3.5 against the Cardinals. What Kyler did last week absolutely blew everybody's mind. They should have lost. No one plays backyard football like Kyler, but I'm not convinced that they do it again. And then I got the 49ers minus 1.5 against the Broncos. I'm fading the Broncos all year. I'm like Gunner, fucking hate Russell Wilson. Week 1, they cost me fucking like $300. So fading. Last time I will ever ride with Broncos country. Fuck Broncos country. Not fuck Russell
Let's
Wilson.
go.
Chiefs
Let's go.
-5.5. Rams -3.5. 49ers -1.5. That's 589 altogether. Juicy little parlay for you.
That's good.
All right. So my lock of the week is going to be the Chattanooga Mocs point spread. I am going to watch that game so fiercely that my wife is going to punch me in the face before I actually look at her. Okay.
That's right.
So other than that, my dog is going to be who I've already got money on. Florida Gators to beat the Tennessee Volunteers outright.
Are you just picking my picks, bro? We on the same wavelength this week?
The
Okay,
ass
let's go.
out. All right. And then my parlay is going to be a little bit of a bubble on the point spread. So the actual mark for the Falcons game now is actually half a point on the spread. So I bubbled that to Falcons -3.5. Buccaneers is sitting at -1. I bubbled that to -6.5. So I think that Bucs are going to win by a touchdown. Falcons are going to probably kick 2 field goals, maybe win by a touchdown, and somewhere around that mark. And then I got the Commanders on the Eagles. I'm pulling that point spread. Right now it's at a touchdown, so +6.5. Pulled it down to +3.5. So as long as they stay within that field goal budget, we're good. And that son of a bitch is sitting at +1531. So, we're looking pretty good, but manageable for a parlay.
Yeah. No, I dig it. Well, hey, guys, this was fun. This is another good one. If you look at our records, 29-19, me and Ryan tied for first. Jared's 2 games behind us. So as we're now attacking the spread on these picks, I think it's going to change some things up, some dynamics of the picks. But yet again, another good week. So we'll kick it off tonight. We'll get some Thursday night football in, and then we'll see you guys next week. And I'm sure we'll brag about it if we win, and we will not brag about it if we lose. We'll see you guys later.
Let's go, Mocs. Let's go, Steelers.
I'm coming.
Let's go, Mock.